Go.
Hi, I'm Bob Batcher, Executive Director of Primeplus Senior Centers, and this is Prime Time with Bob. I am with one of my favorite people, and I know her for the last year by doing this virtual, and she makes me do things in a chair that my mother told me never to do. Angie, how you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Well,
I'm doing well, thank you.
My mother wasn't quite sure about yoga, and she knew that if I got into a certain position, I might not get back out. But you've got us stretching and growing and learning through the virtual programs at Primeplus. Do you realize the lives you've touched over the last year?
I hope that I've touched at least one life that that makes a difference. You know, that they know that they're thought of, that they're important. I see their names on the screen and I think of them. I remember the faces and names of everyone that I used to teach, and I pray for them. I think about all of them, and I hope that they're all well. So even if I could just touch one life, it's important to me because you're all important. They're all important to me.
Yeah. Now, let's go back a year ago, because we were touching lives at Primeplus the same way we've been touching lives for 52 years. And then all of a sudden, you got a phone call from somebody at Primeplus saying, we're closed.
Yeah.
How did you react to that phone call?
Well, we had a couple of weeks of lead up with this whole COVID-19 virus coming from China or wherever. And so we were kind of expecting it because we were hearing things from the schools. Schools were thinking, oh, you know what's going on? We had events with the children, literally like March 15th or 16th, whatever that Monday was, there was a huge orchestral concert going on that all these kids had worked up to. And it was going to be a great symphony. And then we get the call from you. We started getting emails from school, emails from orchestra, emails from all these other programs, teachers, lessons, extracurriculars, shut down. Everything just stops. I mean, like a screeching halt. And we're like, wow, okay. And it takes a couple of weeks to soak in, right? You know, we get the calls, we get emails saying, all right, maybe at Primeplus you could start doing something on Facebook. Think about it. Maybe start teaching online for those who can get online and watch. And but it literally, it took a couple weeks. It was April 1st when I started. And so that was literally 2 weeks of just kind of figuring it out. Yeah. Figuring out what in the world we can do.
And if you remember, we were kind of defining time by things opening back up. Oh, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, gold phase. I don't know. We're going to do this for 2 weeks. And now it's just kind of, here we are. This is life. How did you adjust to that?
I'm lucky I have a big family that even though all these things stopped, I have them to keep me going. I have them, I say, oh, I got to feed them. I got to get food for them. I've got to keep cleaning. I got to keep figuring out how to keep them going because school shut down completely. So I'm like, okay, how about music lessons? I got to figure out, okay, the teachers want to not have lessons anymore either. Are we going to try Zoom or Facebook and live streaming?
And Zoom at the time, we didn't really know.
Nobody.
We didn't know we could change our screen by doing that.
Right, by touching, you know. But we were using Facebook and FaceTime. So we have Apple products, so we could do FaceTime or Skype. And so those were the 3 main ones that we were figuring out. And that's kind of how we got into it. I can be a home buddy. So I was like totally decompressing because I was running around doing all these different things with the kids. And all of a sudden it all stopped. And I was like, I don't have to drive. This is fantastic.
This is cool. But, you know, it's funny that you mentioned Zoom because for 15 years before coming to Primeplus, I did a small TV show. So I was used to talking with people in front of a camera. And our church had a men's Bible study, and it was on Zoom. And the first time worked like a charm. Clicked on the link, there it was. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was with a bunch of guys. A week later, I did the exact same thing, and it didn't work. And I said, I'm done. I'm over it. I've learned enough. I don't want to learn anything else. And I had another Zoom meeting that happened to work, and I was with peers that are in this business. And it was so refreshing to get with other people, even though we were little boxes. Yeah. And I got off that, and my daughter had done a video about how to do Zoom. So I text her, and I said, Amanda, I'm going to do a Facebook Live at 3:30. If you don't text me back, I'm going to make a fool of myself. And I just made that leap, and it worked. Yeah. So here we are a year later, almost a year later, and we're doing this. However, don't tell anybody, not a soul, okay? This is between you and me. Before I got ready to do this interview, there's cookies out on the table. And I debated about doing this interview either from here or from home. I should have done it from home because normally you're doing classes with our members from home. And I realized, no, I spend a lot of my time here because Chantel, Jeanette, and I are running the office to kind of keep things moving forward in a new way. But I've picked up some bad habits. I had a chocolate chip cookie, and I decided I better eat it before I start talking to Angie. And that's at 9:30 in the morning. I eat a chocolate chip cookie. So you're not going to see me. See, I got a body built for Zoom now. So I've been adjusting over the last 10 months, but probably not as healthy as you. So what should I do to get back into the
Have you tried
and
taking these? Have you tried taking these fantastic classes from a place called Primeplus?
Well, one time I was signed on, and I won't mention her name, but it starts with Lee. She called me out on the comments. Are you monitoring this or are you doing this? So I've watched some of them, and they look great.
But
so what classes do you teach?
I teach stretch, flex, and tone, gentle yoga, and on the side I'll teach Yin Yoga.
Now, Yin Yoga is when you actually get down on the floor, right?
Yeah, Yin Yoga. That's a little more difficult.
If I'm on the floor, you don't know what I'm doing down here.
No, I don't. But you can tell me. Well, wait, I can't see. No, this won't allow me to see.
But I got to get up. I'll get up.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I only do one class, Yin Yoga. I do that on the side. I think we had it with Primeplus for a short while, but then we changed things up a bit and had more classes brought in. But yeah, those are the classes I'll teach right now. Okay. I did do a fascia workshop once too.
So what's the response been? I mean, we've got to talk about one of our members. I won't mention her name, but if we talk about her, everybody will know who we're talking about. She's older than me.
Yeah.
Technology really wasn't part of her life. And she was unable to really attend Primeplus in person because she had had surgery and the healing process is going slow. Now, all of a sudden, Primeplus is in her living room or wherever she is.
Her bedroom, right? I think. I know who you're talking about. Yes.
And she's kind of early on was our Kilroy, because she would show up on the Zoom meetings, right?
Yes.
Which is really cool.
So she shows up a lot to the Zoom meetings, and she's one of the few who loves it too, because we could get on and talk afterwards. And she, if I recall, she lives alone, even though she has a cat now. And cool. Yeah, she got a cat. Her son brought her a cat. So she loves to get on afterwards and we chit chat. But there are times where the nice thing about Zoom is you can put that video off. And if you're in your pajamas or if you're just not having the great hair day you want to show it off, you don't have to do video and you can just chat. And so you can play around with it. Oh, see, there he goes. Bob's like, I got to go fix my hair. Wait, I got to fix my tie. So yeah, so she's slowly progressed to the point where, video off, chat off, I want to say this. And she's gotten really good at it. And you can see how people will get comfortable doing something. Initially, you're like, Zoom, what? Oh, how do you do this? Oh, I got to plug in the code. Oh, I got to, and then it just becomes just normal, just habit, writing a signature. It's just, something you do. And she gets on twice a week at least, if
So
not more.
once you figure it out, and obviously you figured out, if you're watching this, tell a friend and help them figure it out. I've got to say, the reason I did the floor thing was that was one of the classes I was monitoring. She said, okay, I'm going to get on the floor now. And I had to go to another Zoom meeting or something. And I had to call Chantel and say, did she get off the floor? And she did. So it's a matter of really kind of relaxing and going with it, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
So I don't want to give up my chocolate chip cookie. I really don't.
I have to admit, I eat my chocolate chip. My son makes a absolutely amazing chocolate chip cookie.
Does he really?
He'll brown the butter to give the cookie that extra.
Okay, no, you're not supposed to be teasing me. You're supposed to be correcting me. So
no, I'm just saying, eat your cookie, but be careful. Don't eat too much, and go do a little bit of exercise after or during you're eating this. If you're walking, eat with your cookie. Or if you're going to eat it, just a little exercise. Move around.
So when you talk exercise, what about the newbie in this whole thing? What can they do?
The newbie. So somebody who's brand new. You get so many different types of people who don't mind calling and asking tons of questions, but it's the person who's not sure about calling or who to call, or that's the hard one, because that's the hard part about COVID right now, is that we're not directly connected. We don't have someone in front of us to help. We don't have, I'd love to come to their house and just show them how to do all of these things and how to use the computer and what buttons to plug, and hey, look at this hand, touch this and you can chat with me, right? Or give me a thumbs up or something, or a heart. And so, but we can't do that. We really can't. And I mean, if there was a site that I could send them to that has like a video on all the different prompts to get them to use something so that they could learn off of it, like you were talking about, your daughter had a video to use Zoom, if we could direct them or send them an email with a link to it, that would be fantastic to say,
well, guess what?
At this tutorial.
Guess what?
You have it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
If they want to just email us, they can email rbatcher@primeplus.org. Then we will hook them up through another collaboration we have with a coach who can kind of work them through that.
Yeah, and so that's cool? One thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was thinking, how many kids out there who are bored could be helping out somebody by just setting up a tutorial on how to use Zoom.
And it doesn't have to be their grandmother they're teaching. We will keep it stranger to stranger because it gets emotional. But for me, when I get done with this conversation in the next couple of minutes, what's your advice for me to kind of get, because I got this great Zoom body from the shoulders up, but I'm carrying some of the weight. What should I do to get rid of some of this weight and get in better shape in the Zoom or in this COVID world?
In this COVID world, first things first, portion control on eating. That's the biggest one. All right.
No cookie.
So that's why I say it's okay to eat the cookie. It's okay to have that piece of banana bread. It's just portion control. Just know, if you're not going to be out there walking for a half hour every day or doing one of our PrimePlus classes, portion control, because that's the biggest thing. It's like 80% what you eat and 20% exercise. All right. So you've got to be able to balance that out. And it's hard when you're home and you've got that bag of Oreos or Doritos or whatever it is you have to go, oh, temptation. That to me, I think is we don't want to hear it, but it's just the fact. It's 80%
well, and what I do too is I walk around the halls because the building is closed. So I'll just walk, and it's remarkable how I can start feeling better. So you don't have to do a whole lot, but the bottom line is sign on to Facebook, go to PrimePlus Senior Centers on Facebook, or go to YouTube.
Yes.
And watch Angie, and it's same thing, PrimePlus Senior Centers, and watch Angie over and over.
Yeah, whenever you can, take that time for yourself. And this is for you. This is a benefit for you to be able to go and just have someone to guide you through it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of us want. We just want someone to be with us.
And what better way to get connected, but if you've been watching this, to be able to like it, number one, so we know you've been watching, but also call a friend and get them hooked into new ways of seeing their world and exploring it.
Send them the link. Share the Facebook site for Primeplus. I keep telling everyone, share it everywhere. Friends in Europe, friends in Asia, friends in Florida, friends in California, anywhere that you have a friend, send it to them. You never know what difference you might make for somebody by just sending them a link so that they can have a connection with someone else. And the cool thing is a connection with someone who might be across the country.
Got it.
And you're like, hey, they're in Georgia, or hey, they're in Washington or Oregon, and they're working out, and
That's
they're
cool.
3 hours behind. Whoa, that's really early.
So. I got one last question for you.
Sure.
You got a pile of your son's chocolate chip cookies there yet?
Oh no, we finished those last week. Oh, those are
Angie, thanks for everything that you've done to bring your positive spirit to the world of Primeplus, and we're committed to continuing doing what we've normally done for 50 some years, but doing it differently.
Good. Bravo. My pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
See you on Zoom, and hopefully someday we'll see you in the classroom.
Yep. I'll see you. Definitely.
Keep in mind,
Take
stay
care.
safe and stay connected. See you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.